Good day, everyone, and welcome to the HorseRaceAdvantage.com horse racing calculator. This state-of-the-art algorithm-based calculator is here for your usage. It is here for you to utilize to give you an advantage, to profit more than ever before, and certainly turn every losing race into a winning outcome, into a profitable outcome once you can use this exactly as it was designed to be used. You turn every losing race into a winning race once you have a winning race. And by me saying, or our service saying, once you have a winning race, it means you may have losing races. But once you have a winner, you should be able to turn every race before that into a profit, meaning you will get back your investments or your wager amounts plus a profit. Now, there are three stages to this, and this is stage one. What we're going to do is, or three videos to this actually, and we've broken it up into three stages: playing to win, playing to place, and using two horses as your bets. Now, we want to try to keep the videos at a minimal so you can have the attention span to be able to look at them and kind of understand that this is going to be based on what you're putting in as far as odds are concerned. And there's two ways to do this. One is to use current morning line odds and stay with it, or two, to adjust it if you happen to be playing from home and you have a minute or two before post time and you can adjust the odds in case it goes down. So what we're looking at is a very simple thing. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to be able to look at your bankroll and say, okay, we're going to put a starting bankroll in this case, and we'll get to the tracks in a minute. We're going to put a starting bankroll of 300, and we're going to use it today strictly for for playing win bets. Now, obviously, that's going to become an important factor because what we say is we know the fact is favorites win 33% of the times. Okay, and that being said, you're probably going to win 3 out of 10 races. However, are you really making a profit betting favorites and risking a lot to get that? No. The true way of making money in horse racing or any form of investing is value. So what we have to look at is we've set certain requirements that we feel is in your best interest. If you're not getting anything less than 2.5, which is 5 to 2, okay, or 3.5, which is 7 to 2, 4.5, which is 9 to 2. So those are the split odds. But when you have single odds like 2, you can just input that in: 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1. We'll show you all of that. But if you're not getting less than, we believe, 3 to 1, sometimes you may take 2.5, which is 5 to 2. Don't bet the race. Skip it, okay, because there's no value there. Now, for this demonstration, we're just going to use our top horse, but you don't have to. You can use whichever one of our selections you want, and certainly if you choose on a specific day or card not to use our selections and you want to use your own handicapping, that's fine. Use the calculator. It's going to help you to make and conserve your bankroll and certainly put you ahead. Now, the first thing you do is you put in your bankroll, and in this case, we're going to say $300 is our starting bankroll. And the calculator is not set at all. It has to be set when you put in your adjusted desired target profit per investment or per race. So, the smaller players who have a smaller bankroll, they can set this at $2. It says 2 here, but it's not set. That's just a place so you know where to put it. They will start off with $2 or $3. Certainly, if you increase it, your invest amounts are going to be higher, but this is not a double up, triple up concept. Okay, it's not a martingale concept. It's based on odds. So for this demonstration, we're looking at win bets, and we're going to put $10 as our projected desired target per race. Now, this again is going to be at the mercy of what the odds really are when they go off, because some odds you may put in at 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 3 to 1, whatever have you, and they may not go off at those odds. They may go off lower. If you're not in a position to change them, then you can just live with whatever you have. I'm sure you're still going to be ahead. So in this case, we look at we look at this card for Indiana Grand. Okay, one of the things about this new product is the bells and whistles here are going to be also in the right perspective with our selections. What you notice here is you don't see odds, and for the last 20 years we haven't put the odds in here because of one reason. It wasn't because we didn't have the opportunity to. It's because we didn't want customers looking at just playing a horse based on just its odds. We wanted to have a customer or a horse player look at the horse for what the horse is and its ability and its relative strength, how high it's ranked, what the caliber of this horse is as in relation to the race. And if in many cases you may see a horse that is leaps and bounds above the others, but it's going off at high odds because of some, whatever reason it may be, or it's going off at extremely low odds, and you decide, well, I'm not going to play this race, or I'm not going to play this horse because the odds are too low. When you have odds that are so low, there's no reason to buy win bets. The smart thing to do is buy exotics, which is keying that horse on top with exactas or trifectas or superfectas, whatever, or pick threes, whatever have you behind it. In this demonstration, like I said, we're going after win odds. Now, this is what our reports are going to look like in the near future. We're using the reports. This report happened to be Sunday, December 28th. This is at Gulfstream. This current Sunday's past Sunday, 28th, 2018 at Gulfstream. So what we're going to do is let's look at the odds as far as what they are, and we're going to play this according to the current odds. Now, remember, we're not taking favorites. We're looking for anything that's 3-1 or higher. If not, we'll go to the next one or the next one. And certainly, we have to go four deep. It's only because we had one or two that we didn't feel qualified, and there was a scratch in between. But we're not just going to keep going all the way down until we hit a 20-1 odd horse. Now, in another situation, is you, the handicapper, if you choose not to use our top four selections or five selections, whatever it is, let's say you happen to like our fifth play. That's the horse you like, whether it be a name that you like or you see something on your own and you want to bet this horse and it's 20-1, then fine. But what we suggest is looking at our top horse, for instance, with a relative strength, in this case, it's 100%, and the next one is 95%. This is a pretty close gap. It's saying both of these can really compete and probably win the race. Doesn't mean that it necessarily will win the race. We've seen, obviously, the lowest horse in the race come in at big odds. But most of the times, we're pointing you in the right direction, saying, in this case, 1, 2, and 6, they're competitive enough, but if you look at the 1 and the 2, and after that it goes to 72%, then it's telling you, well, you know what, these horses here have a pretty high percentage of actually winning or running second. Okay, even with 60%, because I believe the key is anything that has a 60% or better relative strength should be looked at. Okay, and should not just be left out. And the favorite in this race, 8-5, is a 61% relative strength. So you never know. I mean, again, it depends on you, the handicapper, how you want to do it. Um, you can either take a horse in the top three that has the best odds and look for value there, or again, don't take anything less than 3-1, or if you want to go, to the extreme, 5-2, which is 2.5. Now, let's go back to the calculator. What we're going to do here is we've already set this, and you see all these zeros here. This simply means that the calculator is set. We're just going to put a date in here of the 28th. Okay, and we're going to use Gulfstream G1. So it's Gulfstream 1. We're going to take, in this demonstration, we're going to say, okay, it's calling for the one horse, which is 7-5. We're not touching that horse. Okay, I mean, or it doesn't mean that you shouldn't bet it. You can key this horse on top, play it in exactas, and certainly if you want to bet it to win, that's fine. But for the purpose of really making a profit, you can have 10 races and just hit three of them and make a considerable amount of money, as opposed to hitting three or four favorites and still be in the hole. So in this case, we're going to bypass this horse and we're going to go after the number two horse. Okay, and the number two horse, and actually this is not Gulfstream, this is Golden Gate. This is the West Coast track. So actually we're going to switch over to Gulfstream. I think there's um, and I say that for a reason because the field sizes are usually better and there's many more races. So let's switch over to Gulfstream. Okay, so as you can see, we switched over to Gulfstream on the 28th, and I'm preferring using this because of this usually the size of the fields. You have more options. Yes, there may be scratches, but at the same rate, you have a better field size, more races, and I believe better odds. Okay, so in race one at Gulfstream, it's giving us the first horse is the 4, then you have the 5-3 as our top three horses. Now we're going to be betting just to win and see how we're going to come out. And what we're going to say is, look, we want to make at least 20% of our bankroll. Okay, and if we did that on each track, there is no bank in America that's giving you 20% of your bankroll. I mean, on a daily basis. Okay, and in this case, even 10% would be fine. Okay, which bank is giving you 10% of your money each day? So in this case, we're going to go after. I'm going to say to myself, I have a $300 bankroll. Even if I made $30 at this track, I'd be very happy. So I'm going to stay with Gulfstream Race One. And our first play is the four. Obviously, it's 3-1 or higher, so we're going to take this. And we're not going to change the odds as you would at home if you have the chance to play. If the guy is at the track, the line may be long, or whatever you're doing at home. You want to just make your bet before the race and do what you have to do. Come back and check your results after the race. So we're going to say, okay, in race one, it's the number four is our top horse. It's at 4-1. We're going to say four is the horse, and the odds is 4-1. It's telling us to bet $3. Now, we're going to go here. We're going to look at the 28th, okay? And we decided to look at Gulfstream. So, first race, it so happens, there goes Ben, actually wins and pays $4. Now, here's the only situation, the only drawback that you have to worry about, okay? Which is not too much of a problem, but you're going to get away with it a lot of times. Sometimes these odds that you put in are going to go off higher than they should, and that's going to give you an advantage. But if they do go off a little bit lower, and again, you're not able to control it, you may get a little bit less. A 4-1 odds for based on a $2 bet returns $10. In this case, you use the pay column. Certainly, you can use the return column, by the way, and just put whatever you got back on your ticket. Just put the total amount in here. But we tell you just to use the pay column to put in what the payout is. And in this case, as you can see, once again, the horse paid $9 to win. So you bet $3 on this horse, and it paid $9. Your bankroll is at 10, 310. Okay. Now, you asked for $10 a race, by the way. So you did make that profit. Now we're going to go to Gulfstream Race 2. Okay, and we're going to see exactly what our horse there is, 5-2. We're not touching that, or I am not touching that. If I was playing, I'm not getting any value. Chances are this is going to get bet down. We know the favorite is 2-1, but this may teeter around 5-2. It may go a little less, and it could even go higher. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip over and I'm going to go after the 3 horse at 7-2. Don't know what the outcome is, but I'm going to take the 3 horse at 7-2. And again, like I said, if a horse is 5-2, you may want to write it down. The decimal point is 2.5. If it's 7-2, the decimal point is 3.5. And if it's 9-2, the decimal point is 4.5. Everything else is all single numbers. Okay, so in this case, you have a 7-2 horse, which is 3.5. Okay, so we're going to put in 3.5. It's telling us to bet $3 again. And this is on the number 3 horse in the second race. Let's see what happens. Well, so happens that the number 3 horse won the race. Now, here's the one problem. 7-2 horse, 3.5 pays $9. This horse did not pay $9. It actually went off less than it should. Okay, and 9-5. Had you been monitoring this race and say, okay, I'm going to wait till 1 minute to bet this race, or 2 minutes, you may not have bet this race. You may have skipped it because you weren't getting any value. In this case, you're pre-betting, so it is what it is, and the calculator is going to optimize as much as it can, but still, in 2 races, you should have a $20 profit, but you don't. You only have a $15 profit. Still, you're ahead, but again, you did not get the amount that it should pay. So we move right on. We go to race 3, and we see, well, race 3 at Gulfstream, it's giving us the 4 at 3-1. So we're going to take it, and we're going to put that in. Race 3, number 4. Ran second, so you had a loss. Now we're going to go to race 4. It's giving us the number 3 at 6-1. So we're going to put that in. Actually, that's race 5. Oh, wait, that's race 4. Sorry. Race 4, it's giving us the 3 at 6-1. I'm going to put that in. And race 4, number 3, let's see what happens. It did not win, and it did run, but it was not on the board. Okay, so the next race is, we're going to absorb that loss. We're going to continue. Again, we're looking at value. Race 5, certainly we're not touching this horse. 9-5, walk away. You go down to the next horse, which is the 4 at 9-2. So race 5, we're going to go in G5. The 4 is 9 to 2, which is 4.5. Okay, so we're going to put that in, race 5, number 4, and let's see how that race unfolded. Again, you had a horse that, let's make sure this horse did not scratch, and it did not. So you had a loss in that race. Next thing is you go to your next race. Again, you're probably saying, okay, I'm losing a few dollars here. Not so. Once you have a winning proposition and a winning race, you will see how the calculator is actually going to magically bring back all your money and then some. So race 6, we're at number 9 horse at 7 to 2. Obviously, we're going to take that. Okay, so we're going to go race 6, number 9 is 7 to 2, 3.5. It's asking for $20. Race 6, number 9. Let's take a look. Okay, the 9 horse has not been on the board, so you had a losing race. Now you continue moving forward. Race 7, number 5 is at 3 to 1. We're going to take that horse. And again, this is our choice. We're just using the top horse as a demonstration. It's not necessary that that's what you have to use. You can choose any one of our horses or your own. It's not, this is not in stone. We're just going after the top horse, knowing that we're eventually going to hit one, and it's going to actually turn a very decent profit in the end. So we're at race 5, number 3. And actually, we're not at race 5. We're at race 7, number 5. And it won, and it paid $7. Now, here's the situation. This is a 3 to 1 odds horse. It theoretically is supposed to pay $8. It's supposed to pay $8 to win. Had it paid $8 to win, look at what happens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. You asked for $10 a race. You turned every one of these races into a winning race. And 7 races times $10 is 70. You should be at 370. So you've won every single race. Even these losing races have become automatic winners. In this case, however, anytime you want to back something out, you have to completely back out all of the information from that race. Okay, in this case, it's all complete zeros now. Now, this race did win. However, this horse, again, paid $7. So you're not getting exactly what it should have paid, but still puts you in a very good situation. You're $54 ahead. In 7 races, theoretically, at one track, I'm already $54 ahead. I didn't spend a ton of money, but I have gotten back every dime that I have put out. And I have cleared a profit of at least $6 per race in all of this. Okay, even though this was not optimized to the correct payout, I've gotten back a $54 profit. So this is how you use the win end of it. Now, if you were, again, using higher odds, you didn't choose to use the 5, you choose to use 7 to 2 or 9 to 2, same difference. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, it's up to you. We were using the top horse as an example, just so you can see exactly how to use the calculator. Now, once you have a win, you can actually clear it and start over by putting your new current bankroll. That can change things as well. So in this case, when you had this hit here, and you are ahead, whatever it was, 315, you could have cleared the calculator, put in 315, and then start off from race 4 as your first bet. And these bets would be smaller. You would not be at this situation where it's 33 ahead. So we're going to show you exactly what we mean here. Okay, you're at 354, so you did pretty good, but we're going to show you what we mean. Okay, I'm going to back all this out. I could just easily hit the clear button, but I choose not to for a reason, and then I'll show you why. Okay. At this point, is what I'm trying to say is, at this point, you've made a profit of $14, okay, in 2 races, okay? So what we're saying is you can actually clear this and put in your new bankroll here at 314, okay? You put in 314. Oh, sorry about that. And then you're going to put in here your target is, you want to make it $12 a race now, you could. Okay? at that point. But you can also make it $5 a race. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to make it. Okay, but you're at 314 now. You started with 300. We're going to keep it at 10. That's what we were after. Now what you would do is you would start off from here, Gulfstream Race 3. And whatever the odds were, in this case it was 3 to 1. It was the 4 at 3 to 1. The 4 at 3 to 1. As you can see, now this is asking for $4. That's fine. Then you had a miss at Gulfstream Race 4. And that was a 6 to 1 shot. Whatever horse that was. I have to get to race 4. Number 3 at 6 to 1. Number 3 is 6 to 1. Notice the odds and notice the bet amount. It's the same. It's not going down, or it's not going up rather. Okay. And again, this has to do with your desired target per race. Now, you may have lost this and may have lost this. As you go further down, you will see the amounts that you have to wager may be less or more than if you ran the entire grid all the way down like we did previously. And the reason why we wanted to show you this is if you ran the entire grid all the way down to as many races as you want to play, the calculator takes into account what your bankroll is. And if it sees that you happen to be ahead more than you should be, it will start giving you very low bets just to eat into the extra that you should have without really affecting your bankroll too much, if you can understand that. Okay, so sometimes it's more beneficial not to clear it than it is to clear it. Depends on how deep you're going when you have a hit. Okay, but certainly this is the way to do it with win bets, and you should do it this way. The other videos we're going to show you how to do it with place betting and how to do it with show betting. Actually, we're not going to actually discuss show betting too much because there really isn't any value. We can tell you right now, unless you're betting a horse that's 15 to 1 or higher and you want to bet it to show, we suggest you cut the odds in half. It's that simple. Now, if you happen to want to bet two horses per race, again, we have a video that we're going to show you based on that, betting 2 horses to win at the same time. Obviously, it will, eat a little bit more into your bankroll. But hopefully you understand by betting the way we just showed you. It's a simple process. You just put in a bankroll, whatever it may be. You put in your target. Let's say we're using $2 because you have a low bankroll. You put in the track. It could be Belmont. You put in the race, Belmont. So we'll say it's Belmont race 1. You put in the horse 3. You put in the odds 5. Tells you bet 2. You missed. Then you decide to play Gulfstream race 3 is your next race. The 6 horse, he's going off at 3 to 1. Then you put in Belmont again, decide to play race 3 there. The 4 horse, he's going off at 4 to 1, and so on. Okay, and let's just say you happen to hit here and you get back $10. Do the math. You have 108. You asked for $2 per investment. You got back your $2, your $2, your $3, and you got the $2 profit per race. 2, 4, 6. You should be at 106. You actually have a couple more. You're at 108. So that's how you use this to play straight win bets. And again, it doesn't matter whatever you decide. All we suggest is don't take anything less than 3 to 1. Now, the last final chapter, final part to this is if you decide that you want to change the odds at the last minute, like you have the opportunity to. Let's say this horse was 4 to 1 and he's actually going off at 3 to 1 and you want to change it, you just back it out and you put in 3. Now look at the bet. It's calling for $4 now. He's going off at 3 to 1. Now he pays $8 to win. You still made $8 profit. If this horse was actually going off lower than that and you really got creative and say, okay, I'm going to take 2.5, which is 5 to 2, it's telling you to bet $4 and let's take the 16 out. And you got back 106. $2 per race, 2, 4, 6. Previously, we did not back out that That 16, when we put in the odds here, was 4, and we decided to go because the odds changed to 3 to 1. Okay, so the number was wrong. Actually, it is 108. Okay, we thought it was higher. But certainly you can do this if you wanted to, is to change the odds. But you have people who are just going to pre-bet the race and do whatever they want to do and come back and look at the results afterwards. So we hope this has been informative. Stay tuned. Look at the other videos of how to use place betting with the Horse Racing Advantage calculator, and certainly we're going to show you how to use dual bets on one specific race on a specific horse to win. Now, again, you access the calculator here once you're a paid premium member. You click on race selections, you access the calculator here, and it will open in a separate page for you, and you can use it as you please. Whenever you finish, you can save or you can clear, and certainly goes back to zero. So thank you very much for looking at our video tutorial. We hope this is going to give you a much more needed push and advantage over making a profit, and we do believe consistency is everything, and that is the road to profitability. Good luck, and once again, thank you for your patronage, and we hope to continue to serve you the best we possibly can with all of our products, giving you the edge that you truly deserve.